Oh, he's not afraid to call them retards, and he will back his shit up. They call him Uncle Terry, and he truly doesn't give a fuck.
What is going on, people? Welcome to Slap Chat Live. I am your host, Terry Dunning, and I am tired as fuck. This episode will be very, very short. I do apologize, people. It's already 5 o'clock, and I gotta get some sleep and be up by midnight for work. But I want to get into a couple things real quick. And the first one is I've seen a lot of shit on social media about Ron being screwed because the Crazy Hawaiian got to pick his corner man and stuff. I want to get into this the best I can without saying too much. First of all, I talked to Ron. Ron will have anybody as his coach. It doesn't matter. He's there to do a job. He's there to slap the fuck out of people. And that's what he's going to do come March 6th when he's up at the podium for Power Slap 18. It's going to be the same game. Now, some of the things we're seeing, though, is Ron should have JT Tilly. And I'm going to get into that real quick. JT Tilly is banned from Power Slap. But that goes both ways. You will never see JT Tilly wanting anything to do with a Power Slap under the Power Slap banner. It just doesn't work out well. JT Tilly, for those who don't know, actually started Power Slap with Dana White for the first 2 or 3 events, and it was just a falling out. And long story short, people that are mentioning JT Tilly as Ron's corner man, that's not going to happen. So that's one that Ron was automatically eliminated. The second would be Brandon Bardou, of course. Ron and Brandon get along really well. Sorry, guys, I'm exhausted. And, of course, Ron would pick Brandon, but that is not happening either from my understanding. Brandon is coaching the blue team, and they will not make an exception. So, looks like Robert will be in Ron's corner. Again, it doesn't matter because as Ron said that it doesn't matter. He'll even have Robert in his corner. He'd be happy with him as well. For those that are making the comments, Ron, I don't know if he feels screwed. He never said anything personally. I do know this. I know had Ron been given the same notice that the Crazy Hawaiian was given, and we do know the Crazy Hawaiian and that camp was given notice because Vern was getting his license stuff preparing. Ron found out this week that he had the option to put somebody in the corner. So I would say this, and I don't speak for Ron, but I speak knowing Ron. That if Ron had known and given the chance, the first person he probably would have picked, my guess, would have been his wife, Sarah, and he would have licensed her up. So he really wasn't given a choice per se until this week, and there's not enough time for anybody to get licensed to the Nevada Athletic Commission with 2 weeks to go. That just doesn't happen. So, yeah, he was kind of screwed, but at the end of the day, he was going in thinking Robert was his coach, and that's looking like it's going to be the case. So he's still going to be bringing the same game with the same coach he prepared with or prepared to have, and he's going to be knocking the Crazy Hawaiian out on March 6th. Getting back to the JT being banned, I spoke to JT. There is reasons JT is banned. I'm sure. I don't know them all. I won't get into them all. But JT will never, ever be at a Power Slap event. And it's sad because I'm going to get into JT and Ron. I'm going to tell you guys a little funny story JT told me about Ron when they first met. Ron was like an 18-year-old kid when they first met up. He came in looking to do MMA fights, and JT was a young fight promoter, if you will, booking fights on the indie circuit. And long story short, the way JT described it to me is Ron first match, he basically really got his ass kicked pretty bad. And JT at the end of the match, being young and new to the game, was more or less like, oops, sorry, that was my bad moment for not doing the research. So these guys go back since Ron was like a young man. I'm sure that given the chance, if Ron could have had somebody, JT would have been high on his list to pick to have in that corner. And it sucks that, Power Slap wouldn't give JT that option. I know both guys are a little bit upset about JT not being an option because of a personal beef with Power Slap. But more so, I talked to JT and he was really, really hurt that he couldn't be there for Ron's corner. Them guys have just known each other for so long, man. And I know Ron's the same way. I've talked to Ron, where Ron has been like, man, I haven't heard from JT in so long, it's been a while. Have you heard from JT kind of thing? So these guys, they've known each other for a good portion of their lives. That's just a bond that, became something. Two guys coming up on the indie circuits, now a world champion and creators of sports. That's where that bond is today. And to know that JT doesn't have the option to go to Ron's matches really sucks, man. And it sucks for both guys. Now, the last thing I do want to get into, and again, I told you guys it was going to be brief, but let me go ahead and get this page open. We got a pervert in the sport. I'm sure there's a few of them, but there's one that I'm going to expose today. This guy's Lika, I guess is his name. And let me share the screen with you guys. And I got to watch what I share because amongst these messages, there is actually a dick pic. I don't want to get my shit pulled and blocked. So I'm just going to share a few here with you real quick. Messages this guy has sent to fighters' wives, and he's harassing more than one. I know that I've got messages from two different people saying that these messages was to their wives, and these are fighters' wives from this guy. And I do also know this guy, Lewis, has been all over my girlfriend's page just recently, liking like everything she drops. Why am I exposing this guy? Well, I want to make sure I don't put up any bad pictures. But there is a lot of text coming in from this guy. I received over 40 of them. And it's just not appropriate to be messaging dick pics and this kind of content, if you will. Let me move this so I can see my screen. It's just not appropriate to be sending this kind of comment to fighters' wives. So that's why I'm exposing this motherfucker. Nobody else will. I'd never had a problem with them, but as soon as people were saying, hey, that grasshopper guy from Brazil, I knew right away who he was talking about. This guy's all over social media trying to tell people how they should be slap fighting and doing their fucking game. But it looks like maybe he should be practicing slap fighting instead of playing with his dick and sending pictures all over. I don't know. I just want to make sure that one picture isn't coming up real quick. Let me stop sharing the screen for just a second. Get past the dick pic. But to give you, just so you guys know that there was a dick pic, and so you guys don't think I'm making this shit up, I did censor one out just to let you guys see that this is no bullshit. This guy's a fucking pig. Let me go ahead and just so nobody thinks I'm lying. Of course, it's censored. But this is what he's sending to one of the, as you guys can see there. People, that is not a finger. That is not a finger. I know it looks kind of small and shit. Y'all don't laugh at his shit. But that's the kind of shit that he's sending to wives of fighters. Not appropriate, man. I'm calling you out for this bullshit. You need to knock it off or get the fuck out of this slap fight community. This just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the reputation. And we don't need this kind of shit right now with all the other shit going on in this sport. So, again, Lewis, stop sending your dick pics to fighters' wives. They don't have no interest in you. And a lot of people think that you may possibly be on the fucking Epstein list. I don't know, man. With that said, I am going to bounce. One more thing I do want to cover. I did get my Power Slap 18 tickets today. I don't know what people are talking about. Prices are dropping. I will say two things I noticed. The venue is a lot fucking smaller this time. They cut off a good portion of seating. I don't even know if it's in the exact same arena. I do know it's at the Fontainebleau Casino, but it might be actually in a smaller theater. It looks like it's in a smaller theater. The second thing is people are talking about prices have dropped on Power Slap tickets. That is not the fucking case. I spent 3 times $188 per ticket for 3 of them. And I think that's actually $20-something more than I paid for VIP last time. So anybody that's saying ticket prices are dropping, they're full of shit. I've been there. I've seen it. It's not dropping. Let me just check the chats, make sure I'm not missing nothing. Okay, looks like I'm all good. Listen, you guys have a kick-ass day. Don't forget, and the 28th, I believe it is, Punisher Slap Fight's got an event coming up. This Saturday, we have the Florida Man Games. You guys don't want to miss it. If you're in the Florida area, you can get tickets. I know there's people from around the world buying tickets. You can get your tickets online, FloridaManGames.com. Be sure to check that out. And, of course, Power Slap takes place on March 6th in Las Vegas at the Fontainebleau. Now, I have talking to JT. I haven't gotten a schedule yet, but I do know that he does have an event coming up, and I'll find out that event date as well and get that information to you guys. Listen, you guys have a kick-ass day. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I got about 4.5 hours to get sleep, and then I got to get the fuck up and go to work. You guys have a kick-ass day, and we'll talk soon.
Joe's got a belly that jiggles when moves. He's the king of the facts, yeah, he's got the groove. Sits in his chair, puffing clouds to the moon. His laugh's like thunder, you can hear it boom. Chunky Terry's got the mic, watch him go. Lighten up the truth while the smoke billows slow. Making competition look dumb on the show. Chunky Terry's groove, baby, don't you know? Hell, dig through the dirt, find the gold in the grime. He's the Sherlock of podcasts, solving truths in no time. Got a joke for the jokers, a burn for the fools. Terry's the professor, rewriting the rules. He's got that wit, sharper than a blade. Takes no prisoners, leaves no shade.